Hi, welcome to Versus, where we watch 2 TV shows so you don't have to. Today we have... Versus! Look, full disclosure, I've watched about 5 episodes of these. It's the first time I've ever done it, but I watched them both. I was like, oh, I quite like these. And then
I love the way you say it's the first time you've ever done it. Like, I will do it
I won't do it
again,
again.
and I've never done it.
There's been a few things we've done on Versus where I've like ended up watching them all, but it's never been like, oh, I have to watch the next episode of this. So I am a bit further ahead, but I'm not going to try and do any spoilers. I don't think there's any major spoilers.
No, you've also gone quite fair on it. It's not that you've ploughed through with
I literally do that one. I watched them in.
Yeah, you do it
just
similar
relay.
to this. You just keep going because you couldn't decide a winner yourself. You just had to keep going with it.
Yeah. Okay, so my dress-up darling.
Yeah. Initially, my first thought is, I hope there's not a lot of geishas in this. I'm quite scared of geishas.
Are you scared of geishas?
I really don't like geishas. What was that one that was like?
That's a whole Japanese culture. You just don't
They
like
still scare me. I'm sorry to say, it's the black teeth and like the scariness. Sorry.
Well, it's not about geishas. You'll be pleased.
I know. I was very pleased to know. It's just about the little dogs, and I could appreciate that massively. I actually appreciated both these films.
Wakana. He makes these little dolls. I completely forgot what the name of the dolls are called. Hina dolls.
Hina dolls.
I don't know if they're like for giving it like graduations or a special time. But I think they're quite like quite a big important gift at certain life things. But is
this set in Tokyo? Or is it maybe...
Well, they go to Ikebukuro, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. But he makes these little dolls. He loves making them. I don't know where his parents are. I still don't know where his parents are. I'm assuming they've passed away or something.
And where's his sister as well?
So the girl at the start isn't his sister.
Okay,
that's his cousin.
Sister. Okay.
She's like, dolls are shit. Why do you want to use dolls?
Well, is it dolls are shit? I thought it was more like, just get away from my side of the Toys R Us. Like, it was kind of like, why are you playing with girls' toys?
So he lives with his granddad, who that's his job. They have a doll shop.
Yeah, I quite like that.
He makes the clothes, but he can't do the faces.
He can't do the faces as well.
Yeah,
as well. He's still doing that. I still think they're pretty shit hot.
Yeah, it's got a nice little life. This whole thing gave me a lot of flashbacks of just being in high school, where I was very, very quiet. Like I was thinking the whole time of thinking, God, that was me in high school, but having no skill. He's got like some fantastic skill. He's a very quiet guy, very socially awkward. I more just had like collecting Star Wars shit and playing GoldenEye, but I was terrible at talking to girls or anything like that, and I was very like quiet. And the whole thing, I was like, that's just me, but he's much better. He's much taller and has some sort of skill.
Well, he's got a skill, but he's also got passion.
Yeah, he's got a real passion for it, but he's embarrassed. He sort of keeps it under wraps. Well, he doesn't even talk to anyone about it. Anybody
that's
at all.
Kind of like that's him. I feel like
Marin appears, who is the super popular girl.
Yeah, Marin doesn't appear. Sorry, Marin flies.
Oh, she does fly.
Across a
onto his
fucking
lap.
room.
Yeah,
somehow.
He's like
there was
reading
no
through doll books
explanation about how the fuck that happened.
Was it not like I thought it was cheerleading practice, like a throw or something? I don't know why though.
That makes a lot more sense.
I thought
how would you do that in a small room? She bumps her head slightly. Somehow she's not completely concussed, or maybe she is, and that's the whole story. She's actually
the whole thing,
completely messed up.
He's just a bit like fucking awkward.
Yeah,
and he just run away or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. She goes to the front of the class.
Yeah.
And she's chatting to all the mates. She's like in the popular group of girls.
And she goes on about her thing that she likes.
Yeah, she was out shopping with a mate, and this guy was trying it on with her.
Yeah.
And then he saw she had some little otaku thing on her bag, and he's like, "Oh, you fucking nerd!"
Started doing banter, mate.
Yeah. And she's just like,
"Just banter, mate. Get great.
Fuck off, I'm gone."
Yeah, she was really gone with that. She didn't care.
And her thing seems to be, if you like something. Well, the sort of the moral of this show
seems to be, which is good.
Yeah. If you're passionate about something, fuck everyone else.
Yeah.
If you're not hurting anyone, like why should it be a big thing?
Exactly. He goes back home, just continues to paint.
Yeah.
And then he knocks out shitloads.
Yeah.
And he goes back to school the next day, but his sewing machine broke.
Yeah.
So the sewing machine's broken, and so he's like, right, okay, I've got to use the school sewing machine.
Marin turns up and he drops the doll's head, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, Marin turns up, and then just how she flew across the room. For some reason, he just goes, Marin, and then through the doll's room.
He's cradling the tiny doll's head. He's like, "Oh, my beautiful, like golem on it."
He is quite strange about it. Afterwards.
Yeah.
That was quite a funny scene though. I quite enjoyed that bit. Anyway, so she notices the doll's head. She goes, "Oh my god, is that a Miru?
Marin? Oh god, I'm sorry. Hina.
She's like, oh, it's a Hina doll. Blah, blah,
no,
blah.
that's not. I've just read the complete. Oh yeah, no, Hina. Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
Marin's voiced also by someone called Hina to make it really confusing.
How dare they be called the same thing? But anyway, so she's like, oh, it's that Hina doll. And he's like, oh, I only make the clothes. My granddad drew the face.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my god, you make clothes, you can sew. And he goes on about all the bobbins and stuff like that because she brings out her outfit.
No, then she just strips off pretty much.
Yeah, that was a bit of an awkward one to be honest.
Oh, you get ready. Like,
what later on? Really?
There's a lot of nothing like Well, it's just Japanese anime, but there's no nudity or anything.
There was a small glimpse of pants.
What was that one with the girls with rockets on the legs?
They're all really
What
bizarre,
was
yeah.
that one? That was much worse.
Yeah, that one was much worse, but that one didn't mention that it was worse. This one's quite aware of something else. Not aware of it in that way. Not
He's
in like
just
a
basically
seed way, but
superly
obviously he's,
awkward,
like,
and she's
around
just very
it.
free-spirited, doesn't
Yeah.
see anything into it. So anyway, she
Anyway.
puts on this outfit of her favourite character,
And it's shit.
and it's shit, and he's like, and you think she's just turned up looking like pretty nice, and he
Yeah.
doesn't even look at her face. He's like, bollocks, all these hems are wrong, all this is
it's
shit.
brutal. But I thought, why would he even act like that?
What do you
I
mean?
don't know why anyone would act like that. Obviously, he's very, very out of practice socially, but he was like, this is a fucking atrocious.
Because his whole
He was horrific.
obsession is making clothes. When
I
you see
suppose.
someone dressed in a bin bag, he's just
suppose.
like, get lost. I just want to get those hems, and he's going around checking all the stuff.
I'm,
and he's
I'm,
like,
going, I'm going to a wedding, right? Talking about this, right? My girlfriend's a cobbler, and I'm going to a wedding.
don't call him that.
And I'm going to a wedding, and I brought out these shoes that I was going to wear.
In front of a cobbler.
And these shoes, honestly, look like school shoes, and she's just
What
so
size feet are you?
embarrassed. 9. I've got some nice ones now.
Okay, so I'm 10. I
nice
bought like
boots.
3.
You're a
wedding-
10. I thought you were a 7. That's Pete.
No, that's Pete Myers. That's my dad.
And Pete Winkle's also
Yeah,
7.
it's small feet.
Um,
We're the next generation.
We have the
we've
bigger
got
feet,
slightly
yeah.
larger feet.
Anyway, right, we're talking about that. Anyway, right.
And she's like,
What?
"Will you help me with this? Will you help me
Yes, yeah.
do the thing?"
And then after slight deliberation, he's like, yes.
Yes.
I
And
will.
she's like, "Fantastic! Finally, I'll get to be the girl from Slut Girls Slip." It's like Slippery Girls.
Is that what it is? Is that what it translates
It's from a sex game. So at the end, that's why he's like, "What the fuck's like?" Because he doesn't know. Because it's like, "Finally, I'll get to be the whore from." It's not the whore, but she's basically a girl
Okay.
from like a. Do you know like those? Well,
Yeah, I know
basically
what
like
you mean.
sort of a hentai game.
Yeah.
And that's why I remember it ends on that because he's like, "What the fuck have I just signed
See,
up
I didn't
for?"
get that. I didn't get that part of that.
It's
I
like
got-
Slippery Girls 2, the
Yeah, there was something
embarrassment high school of sex or something, some big
Right.
long title, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" Like,
Okay. Well, there you go.
ends. I've watched up to episode 5, or I'm in episode 5.
Okay.
I just liked how it was very well drawn. Like the quality of it was just
Yeah.
throughout.
Yeah.
They definitely animate her with more frames.
ならいいけど
Did you not see she was just like very fluid?
I liked her posture, and I think the posture, because normally everyone's just like very like, bleh, but she had like quite a cool way of moving.
That's what I mean. But it
with
was
her
like
body,
it
but
added
was
more
like-
frame. It was like very
Yeah.
smooth, like most of the other people. But there was no cheapness to it. The whole thing, I was like,
No, it was
this
good.
just looks very. Because I know sometimes we watch some random animes, even quite new ones, and I go, this looks like it's just on a computer really shitly. There's been nothing put into this, but
Yeah.
But just them
I
going
don't
around
know
the
if
shop-
That's an aesthetic choice, because I feel like Ranking of Kings
oh,
sort of was kind of like the polar opposite of this in terms of animation. This was kind of like Smurfs animation.
the connection to this is I just got Crunchyroll, and these are two that were just arrived on Crunchyroll, and then I looked at some reviews, and everyone was like, this is fucking great.
I thought it was clothes.
We won't call it that.
Yeah, it's clothes. Yeah,
It's
the
clothes,
The combination
yeah.
between these is clothes.
Sponsored by, please sponsor us, Crunchyroll.
Clothes, yeah, for clothes.
So yeah, then we've got I keep wanting to say
Ranking
Clash of
Kings.
Kings, but Ranking of Kings.
I don't know what the rankings are. I have to say, the first episode, it doesn't really talk. It does at the start, but I think that must have just been like,
They don't really go
They don't go
massively
too
into
much-
the ranking
right.
part of it.
Okay, cool.
I described this to my friend Tom because I was talking about what I've been watching, and I was like, it's Ralph Wiggum in Game of
Yeah.
Thrones.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know
it's
why.
like
When I
Ralph
first
Wiggum
saw him, it was
thing.
like, he's like this
But he's
little
not an
cute-
idiot, though.
No, he's not.
That's the
But when
thing,
you
like,
first
that's-
see him, you're like,
yes,
what's
yeah.
his deal?
Yeah.
And for a completely new thing, he's deaf and he's mute.
Mm.
So the main character is Boji,
Yeah,
who is basically the oldest son of the king.
the baby. Yeah, but I don't understand how.
So I've seen, say, like 4 or 5 episodes. It's not spoilers, but his mum is either dead or just not there, and the king got remarried to that blonde lady, the queen
And then
at the time,
Then had another son who looks older.
who looks older. He's called like died or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the blonde
Okay.
kid is actually
Okay.
younger. So he's the first son of the king.
Okay, yeah, because it kept saying that, and I was like, wait, is it ranked? Is that why they're ranked? Because he's not actually older, he's just better in some way?
But so many people have crowns. Like
Yeah, they do. Well, I think that's just like their, because obviously there's a million kings, so maybe like that's just like, I don't know. It feels
Yeah.
like if they're ranking kings, then there's going to be at least more than 100 or so of them.
I think that there is
That's
ranking
what
later on, but
rankings
it's
in
like
the world.
going, you're number this, and I'm like, I don't know who number 1 is. I don't know. Like,
Right.
there's a ranking person who appears in one of the episodes.
It kind of feels like they liked the ranking things from One Punch Man, and they went, let's give kings rankings.
Well, a lot of these things I was thinking of Kill la Kill, where it's the class,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
But
quite common in
somewhat-
Japanese things. They tend to do rankings
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah,
like
good point,
just you're
yeah.
in this thing, you're in this thing. It seems to be a thing. So you've got Boji, who, I'll be honest with you, I fucking love him. The more I've watched it,
He's cute.
he really evolves, and because he can't speak,
Mm.
he can do sign language.
Yeah,
and
that's the thing,
certain
like-
people in the castle can.
Yeah, and so because his mentor is a
The
fencing
sword
teacher,
guy, I can't
yeah.
remember his name, the blonde guy.
But it feels like his mum doesn't. Not his mum, his stepmom. And
She
his,
can. I don't know if she does.
I've not
in-
seen her do it.
Yeah.
In where I'm at. Anyway, yeah. So he's just wandering around, and he gets robbed by a shadow.
Yes, they remind me. Well, it reminds me of the. It's called Kage, and it reminds me of things from Pokemon. Do you know the missing node? Do you know the ones that were like eyes?
Yeah.
Missing node. Unknown.
Yeah, unknown. The ones that, it kind of reminds me of the guy from Adventure Time, the guy that stands up on the wall, the guy, Prismo, not Prismo.
Prismo, yeah.
Yeah, Prismo.
Yeah, the thing non-Gianni.
yeah.
It
It is. He looks like him a little bit, and he kind of reminded me a bit of him.
He's like
It's
sort
a
of two
she, obviously.
eyeballs.
It is a she. I think I don't know why, the whole time through the start of it, I was like, referring to him as he, but then afterwards I really listened to the voice, and I was like, I think it's a woman.
Oh, yeah, I don't actually know. With a little mouth
Yeah.
thing.
So what is that mouth thing?
Well, that's his mouth, or her
But
mouth.
It's so strange, though. I just don't really understand it. It's really bizarre.
I love the animation on this.
Yeah.
I want them to animate Zelda.
Yeah,
It made me
is.
think
I
of
actually wrote
Zelda.
here, kind of like Hyrule. It's
Yeah.
very, very, very much like. It's not like Zelda in my mind. It's more like Zelda, the cartoon that they drew.
Yeah,
back in
when
the
they do
day.
like all the box art or whatever, but
Yeah,
because it never
yeah.
tends to look exactly.
But that Excuse Me Princess thing,
Yeah,
it's kind of
yeah.
that similar sort of vibe. I quite like the animation. I don't know, like it was really cool, but I don't know if I want to watch that much more of it because it seemed very like 70s.
It
You
gets
know what I mean?
much more adult, as in
Okay.
there's murder and betrayal.
Okay.
When I say it's like Ralph Wiggum in Game of Thrones, it's loads like Game of
Right,
Thrones.
okay.
Like there's been so much of it, so I'm like, I have to. That's why I have to watch the next thing.
Yeah. See, and I like. Sorry, I know we're skipping ahead a little bit here, but I really like the fight, and I thought that sort of like. And by that point, I was like, okay, it's just him sort of moving around a little bit, and that cool, the guy who trains his brother.
The snake guy. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
He was really
Yeah.
cool. So I was like, so when they kind of arrived, I was like, oh, this is a bit darker, and there's something else going on here that isn't very like.
Before we get to Final Facts, that's the last
it
bit
was
of
quite
thing.
Smurfy.
He meets Kage in the woods. Boji's running around. Gage's like, "Give me your clothes." They look expensive
Yeah.
clothes. Strip off, and then he sort of like absorbs the clothes.
Yeah, well, I think
send-
maybe is that what he eats? Is
No,
like a
he
moth?
sells the stuff. It's for money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he kind of just goes, "Nope." And then Boji's like, right. He's like, right, tomorrow, bring me more clothes.
Yeah.
And Boji keeps coming out with like wearing loads of clothes. And then that keeps saying he keeps walking back home naked.
Yeah,
And all the townspeople and everyone just thinks he's an idiot.
yeah.
Because he literally just, I don't know how, he doesn't just shout, but he's just,
No, he's just like that. But clearly, he's not just deaf or mute. He's got some. He's clearly like sort of telepathic or something in my mind. Or
we can read
people.
lips. He can read
Yeah, but
lips.
not
That's
just-
why you can
not
read
just lips. I feel like
Kage's
he is
hand thing.
kind of like how he could read the snakes jumping towards him, and how
Yes.
he can read
Oh, yeah,
people's
yeah.
movements. And I feel like he kind of is, if not telepathic, very, very like can read people incredibly well.
From what I've seen, there seems to be a lot not said yet. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot about
Okay.
it. And I say, like, the past, I don't know.
And about his mum, probably.
Yeah. And is his dad in the first episode?
Yes,
you
yeah,
see
his
that?
dad,
He's
his
massive.
dad's massive,
Yeah.
ginormous, and
He fights his brother.
yeah. So he
Who-
goes
he's
in for a
half-brother,
spa, and the guy who's teaching him is basically sort of like, I can't work with this child. He's a fucking moron. No one really everyone's just no one really. I don't understand how that guy doesn't have any patience for him when he speaks to him with sign language.
Sorry,
and
he doesn't
clearly
say he's a
understands it.
moron, does he?
No, he
The
doesn't.
blonde
He's-
guy, I thought he's quite...
He destroys a bunch of logs because the kid's clearly useless at what he's doing. Because he goes off and destroys loads of logs in anger, and
Is
then
that
the
what
other
it
kid
was?
shows up.
Well,
Because he basically's like that, meh,
Yeah.
meh, meh, and he's practicing doing his form, and then the guy's like, "You're shit," blah, destroys
I
loads of
got
stuff.
I got nice vibes from
You
the
got
blonde
nice
guy.
vibes. No, the thing is
The
that
snake guy was the more like sort
Oh
of
no, he's clearly
mysterious.
very, very evil. Because he knows all about the little was it Kage? I've not heard his name yet. I've not had his name yet. I've only known as the shadow thing, or her as the shadow thing. And then basically he fights.
Well, his
the
stepbrother, his half brother fights the
fights
swordmaster
the
first and he gets get beaten, doesn't he?
He does get beaten, yeah, but he puts up a really good fight, and the guy's like,
yeah.
"Oh my god, you're amazing!" And then Thingy steps in and fights. So Boji steps in.
Don't
and fights
mispronounce his
Thingy.
name. He's the
Okay.
best thing ever.
Do not mispronounce his name. So he shows up and then just dodges everything.
Yeah,
And,
he's really good.
And we see previously, it's not just a fluke, he's dodged things before, and he can dodge anything.
He can just
So-
read the space very well. But then he just goes like, bonk.
Yeah, on the
And
little
it's
kid's
the
head,
guy's
yeah.
head, and he's just like a little bit of hair comes down. I think that's the end of the episode.
No, that's the end. Yeah, well, that's the end of the
Yeah,
battle
yeah.
as well. Because he would have won. It's dead good though. I mean, I really enjoyed both of these. They're very, very, very different.
Oh, they're completely.
The
Dress Up Darling one, I'm enjoying. I'm a bit of a soppy bloke. I quite like the kind of will they, won't they, what's going to happen, what's the actual process of making the things. I quite like all that. But
I like that as well. Yeah,
the Clash of Kings, Ranking of Kings, is really like. In some ways, it reminded me like the bits in Berserk, when they're in that.
Yeah. No, I know
that castle thing. Yeah, but there's loads of just murder and loads of stuff isn't what you think it is.
Okay.
Virtually every character you've met in the first couple episodes aren't what you think, because you think, oh, that's that kind of character. That's I don't know, Wormtongue, and that's fucking whoever, Cersei. Do you know the kind of those preconceptions? Then nothing is what you think it is.
Okay.
And Kage, when you sort of, I still don't understand what it is. It's some sort of the shadow. Clan or something, but I'm like, I don't get what you are. But yeah,
I have no idea which I'm going to go for. I think I maybe enjoyed My Dress Up Darling because of the message behind it a little bit more, because it kind of spoke to me. I think recently I've been thinking maybe I should. I don't know. Anyway, it kind of spoke to me a little bit.
Dress up or
make
dolls?
No. More like make dolls, but also just like just enjoy the things you enjoy. Yeah. Don't worry about it too much. Okay. Go to a wedding this week. Anyone who's watching this, maybe who might be at the wedding, and I'm just like, I don't know. I struggle talking to people, and obviously all these people I've seen for so long. So it's might be the same thing. And I've got very different interests to all of them. So it's in a similar vibe. So I was like, push yourself out. Don't be that guy. Essentially,
I was just like, I'm that guy. I was so much. I was like, God, I am this guy.
Yeah, well, I think like you say, like I was very much like that at school as well. Like sort of like wandering around on the outskirts and stuff, like just not really speaking to anyone. So I feel like that one spoke to me a lot more.
Yeah, but it's good. Let's say I'm gonna watch them all. I'm gonna watch them both to the end. I think there's only like 12 episodes in each.
Who was winning though, Joe? Who do you think?
I think unless it goes crazy, the My Dress Up Darling is just a very enjoyable, relaxing. I mean, they're probably gonna fall in love and make some costumes great. But the Clash of Kings or the Ranking of Kings, that's to me. I'm like, well, what's this? It's got loads of little mysteries.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go for that.
Okay.
So in this episode of Versus,
the winner is
Ranking.
No, the winner is neither of them, because I went for My Dress Up Darling.
You did the other
and you
one.
went for Thingy. So I feel like it's
just
a tie.
watch them both. Watch them both. Crunchyroll.
I feel like that's fair enough. Anyway,
Yeah.
Because
I was very happy to watch two just quality.
But you were going back and forth, which is quite interesting as well. That's a very bizarre way to
because
watch
because I was interested in both, and I was like, I don't want to wait like a couple of days to find out.
Are they all episodes out now?
For the first seasons, I think the 12 episodes on each.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
So get Crunchyroll, and I think Crunchyroll's free with adverts.
Stop advertising Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll. Hashtag Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll. Anyway.
And finally, if you watch the last episode, just so you know, because I get it all hanging, the Chicken Big Mac is terrible. Don't get it.
Don't
awful.
Get it.
Really,
it's probably not even there anymore.
I think it's the worst McDonald's new burger I've ever had.
Really?
There was nothing about it I liked.
No, okay, go back. Bye.
どんな重圧や責任を背負っているんだろう